don't know if these little check-ins are helping me at all. I don't know. I started them to help myself to decompress and share those thoughts that plague me about my mom's cancer and the journey. I feel like all I'd ever do is cry. So I put my makeup on today to force myself not to cry. I'm going to church soon. And I have people I can talk to. I don't know. I tend to be somebody who's like, I hold my thoughts. I have dialogue in my head all day. And I think sometimes I even forget to share my thoughts with somebody. And then they come spilling out. So I'm trying to not forget to share my thoughts with somebody. Because then they just boil up and boil over. Or I become emotionally overwrought and I take it out in weird ways, or like on people that don't even know where, like it comes out of left field for them. But really it makes sense because I'm emotionally overwrought over here and I'm freaking out over here about something stupid and minuscule. But I have news. Today is Sunday, February, it's 2/21/21, February 21st. And on Friday, the 26th, my parents will have been married for 44 years. And on Friday, something else is happening. I've decided, with my husband, to announce my candidacy for mayor of the city of Albany. I don't even know what that looks like right now. It's emotionally monumental. It feels monumental sometimes, and other days I'm like, yeah, I got this, it's in the bag. I live in not only a Democrat stronghold for 100 years. When I say stronghold, I'm talking 67,000 registered Democrats, 3,000 registered Republicans kind of stronghold. It's a nest. It's a nest. It's a hornet's nest of Democrats here. So what am I thinking? I don't know. I'm working through that. I always said I was going to run for mayor. I've been saying that for a really long time. Tongue in cheek. I don't know that I necessarily, I did mean something by it, actually. I did. But I just thought it would happen down the road. Like when I'm 50, and I'll be 44 in October. But I guess the time is now. We did seek the Lord a little bit, because I actually didn't have a ton of time by the time this dropped into my lap. The Republican Party of Albany County asked me, I had like very tongue-in-cheek said, I was talking about running for something else, actually, county executive or even common council in Albany. And the mayor candidate they had ended up not working out. So they called and they were like, do you want to be mayor? We'll help you. And I was like, okay. So here I am. So we had like a couple of quick days to just finalize that decision. I talked to my kids. I talked to my husband. I was like, if you say no, the answer is no. I don't care what dream I have in the world. I care about my family first. I will screw anybody over. I literally don't care. I will screw anybody over that I need to. If I need to put my family first, I will quit any job. I will. I'm not saying it won't be hard. I won't grieve. I won't be furious, whatever those emotions might be. But I would do it if I truly thought my family needed me. Speaking of cancer, one of the hardest things that I've had to wrestle with, and I'm still wrestling with sometimes, moment to moment, is my mom getting worse. She doesn't have her wig yet. It's only been a few days since I was weeping on my bed about that wig. But I ordered her scarves from Amazon and they freaking never showed up. Anyway, I started to think, what if your mother dies? What if she declines I am not going to cry. Whew. What if your mother declines very quickly and you have to step away, from running for mayor? The election is 9 months from now, actually. And then if I did get mayor, long shot, David Goliath situation, but it does happen, for such a time as this. I could be the Esther. I might not be. But, it's a full-time job, obviously. I don't know what that looks like. And this article had come up the other day about this woman who stepped away from her job to take care of her ailing mother. And her mother had pancreatic cancer, and her mother ultimately pulled through, actually. But she got to the death's door moment. Now, I don't believe that mother had a husband. So she was truly alone, I think. And I don't think she had any other children. And my mother and father have a ton of resources. If I had to work or something, there are lots of people who would love to sit by her bed. But I would love to sit by her bed. That's the point. A la wig shopping. But, I really wrestled with that. And I thought, do I sit by the phone and wait for my mom to call me for help and not run for mayor so that the next 9 months I'm just available to her? And that matters. It sounds like now that I'm saying it out loud, it sounds like, what if she lives? What if she's fine? Whatever. It sounds stupid to wait by the phone, but I would do that for my mom. I would sit and twiddle my thumbs and hope she'll call me. Or else get in the car and drive down there and insert myself, which, by the way, she would not like. Some daughters would do that, and maybe that day will come. But in general, that would actually piss my mother off. If she said she doesn't want it, she freaking doesn't want it. So, do I do that? Or do I just move ahead with my life? And pursue my own dreams, which she would actually say that she wants, and I know that. But my dream is that she would live. If by sheer willpower I could make that happen, that's what I would do. So I had to wrestle with that. Plus I have little kids and whatever. I have resources. My mother has always been my number one resource, and I've had to figure out life without her in some ways because she's too ill, or on the days she's feeling okay, she has to make up for lost time and do a lot of other things. And I hate saying grandparents are free babysitting. I shouldn't have put my makeup on first. I started thinking, there are women out there who are judges and doctors and attorneys, police officers, teachers, whatever, a grocery store clerk, a janitor. There are women who have lives and necessary work and bring in an income and aren't just sitting at home cleaning the house or whatever, just being housewives is a noble calling. I'm saying there are lots of women who don't have to work, but do. Not every doctor or judge or lawyer has to work because sometimes they have a husband who makes as much income as they need. But that's what they choose to do. And then their mother gets cancer. So it's not like I'm in a unique position, and I feel like I'm justifying my decision to myself. And sometimes I feel like I'm doing that moment by moment. Like, Alicia, there are women who do this and they don't quit their jobs when their mothers get cancer. But then there are women who do. Which one am I? I think I'm the woman who would. I think I'm the woman that's going to press ahead. My mother went back to nursing school when I was 14. And she finished, and it was a rough couple of years. It was like I was 14 to 16. That was schooling. And then she had to do, maybe I was 13 to 15. My brother, we were both pretty young. And she had to study day and, whew. I don't know why it's making me so emotional. I'm so proud of her, I guess. She would study day and night. And my mom, I remember, because their bedroom was above mine, and there was a set of stairs outside of my door, and it went up to a little landing area where my mom had a desk, and the bathroom was up there, and then you walked into another door, and it was their bedroom. And I remember going to bed, and that light above her desk was on. And I remember getting up early in the morning for school, and that light above her desk was on. And my mom was always on the dean's list for nursing school. She was always on the dean's list, always highly honored. And I look back now, well, she was in her 30s at the time. And I look back now, and I have such an appreciation for and an understanding for what she went through to put herself in nursing school and to do such a good job. And then she had to do crappy hours at the hospital, which was 40 minutes from my house, the only hospital. She had to do crappy hours, overnights, weekends, holidays, like you do when you're the new nurse. And that was hard. It was hard. We had somebody living with us who was handicapped at the time, Lorraine. And I was really resentful of all of it, all of it. I need to sit down and talk to my mom. I feel like I need to hear that story of that journey, because until now, I never considered it. I never cared. I only cared about my own thing. And now I'm here running for mayor, gathering press releases, setting up campaign financing. I am way out of my element. I have no experience, none, doing this. None. Zero. Which shows you that anyone can do it. But if you're smart enough to bring along people who know what they're doing and admit that you don't. But, I never cared about her journey to nurse. I know that she always wanted to be a nurse. I do know that. I know that she had been in nursing school before she got pregnant with me and got married, etc. Life happens. And she said she had gone through like a year of nursing school and then set it aside to take care of her family. And I understand that. And it really is that example, I think, that has driven me to set aside many of my own ambitions to be a mom. I got pregnant when I was 22. I was in graduate school getting my master's degree in journalism. My mom, I didn't know anything about kids, even though I was a babysitter. My mom came down where I was living in Virginia Beach. She worked hard to pay my rent. That's what she did. She literally paid my rent. She paid $750 a month so I could stay down there. But she also traveled down every time I had a major paper, whatever. She would drive down to Virginia Beach. But I remember when my oldest son was born, and she would just help me out and show me how to live a life independently of my kids and to bring my kids along with me and make them part of my life. And now I'm 43 years old and I'm running for mayor in the city of Albany, the capital city of the state of New York. The heck am I doing? Some days I feel like you're going to lose and embarrass yourself. But whatever, just be an interesting chapter in the story of my life, if nothing else. But here I am at 43, moving ahead with something, and I have young children, and maybe someday my daughters will see my example and go even further than I could go, because I went further than my mother could go. And because of her sacrifice and commitment and faithfulness and excellence, she instilled something in me by example that has empowered me and brought me to this point So maybe I have a responsibility to do what I'm doing. I don't know. I wrestle with these things. When all I want to do is sit down and watch a movie with my mom and eat popcorn. My mom loves popcorn. She can't really eat it now because of the cancer, actually. I remember my mom graduating from nursing school. There was cake and there was balloons. I think we're at like a hotel ballroom. It was all the family came. It was such a big deal. My mom's the oldest girl of her siblings, her many siblings, and everybody was so proud of her. And I barely remember that day. We have a few pictures of it. I'm not trying to judge myself too harshly. When she graduated, I was pretty young, 16, 17, and I was absorbed in my own life, youth group, and I don't know what stupid crap, teenager crap. But there's this one picture where she's like leaning forward toward her cake, and her hair's got this like kind of 90s, maybe holdover from the 80s barrel curl feathered look. And it's like, congratulations, and the cake says, congratulations, Nancy, and she's so happy she got her graduation cap on. This is why you don't wear makeup when you know you have something to say. Cancer, I just can't even, but anyway, that picture stands out in my memory because it's one of the only pictures we have from that day, but she was so happy. The look on her face, she's so happy. And I get it now. I get why she was happy. Because she made it. She survived, she did well. And she deserved to be celebrated that day. So, as I've been wrestling with all of this, is it selfish for me, to run for mayor? Run for mayor right now? Is this the season? Especially because of my mom. I know my mom would want me to do it, but that's not enough for me. It isn't. It's not. It's not like she has cancer and can't run for mayor herself, so I'll do it for her. I was going to shave my head for her. My mother does not want me to shave my head. Hard stop. So I'm going to get my hair cut today because I have my press conference this week. Get it colored, and I'll just keep living my life like any good mother would want their child to do. Any good mother would want their child to keep moving on and wouldn't want to feel like a burden. None of us want to feel that way, especially my mom. But I do have that inner fear that I'm going to sustain a loss in this, and that loss would be the loss of precious time. The loss of sitting by the phone. I've eternally sat by the phone emotionally for my mother. And now it's almost like I'm plagued with guilt about not sitting by the phone. Because I love her so much that if she calls, I would drop everything. And it's almost like I'm afraid to start something or to get involved. Because I don't want to have to stop something. I don't. I would like to give it 100%, 110%. That's what my intention is. Why would I do this otherwise? But if she calls, I just feel like I'm so torn inside. I'm just wrestling with the idea of moving on from the phone, of my open-ended availability. And to have to say to my mom, I'm sorry, Mom, I have a a meeting with all the city leaders. I have a meeting with the governor of New York today to hash out, something, whatever. I have a meeting, Mom. I have to be somewhere. Mom, there was a shooting. I have to show up and give a statement to the press. Whatever that is, Mom, I need to be there for the citizens of Albany. So I can't be there for you, Mom. The thought of it actually makes me feel nauseated. And it makes me want to drop everything and quit. Now I just don't even want to do it. So I can sit by the phone. I'm like, I guess I wonder, does every woman, especially women, we just can't have it all. It's such a lie to think that women can do it all. Because even though we physically and intellectually and emotionally can do it all, and do it all well, the toll it takes is enormous. The emotional toll, not being there for your kids as much as you'd like, as much as they express to you that they need. Now your mom's very ill with stage 4 cancer, not being there to help her with her hair. Your husband needs you. Husbands need their wives. They do if you're a good wife and you have a good husband, which I do. They need a certain flow. I know I sound antiquated and I don't freaking care. I know I'm right. There's a certain flow to life when things are in a certain order. Whatever works for you is what works for you. This works for me. My family has a flow. And so, my husband interrupted me the other day when I was working. I was recording the news. I was producing the news for the radio station, which I do from home because my kids need me and they were off from school. And I was so mad. I was like, God, get out. Pretend I'm at an office and go away. You get to go to work. And I have to stay here and scrub floors and take care of kids and produce the news. You're welcome. And maybe my mother had those conversations with my dad. She's like, I'm over here trying to study the complexities of smoker's lung. Because you can't have it all. Well, no, you can. But it will cost you greatly. And I guess that's where I am. I have career ambitions. I always have. But above that, I cried out to God. I fasted and I prayed for my family so that I could have, I would give me one. I begged God for what I have right now. And it's like, do I want more? And I just want more and more and more and more and more, and I'm insatiable monster appetite? Or is this like the plan of God and he has more and he needs me to do more and he'll take care of the rest? I almost can feel my own brain saying, that's what it is, Alicia. God will take care of it. Perfect that which concerns you. So this morning, I'm getting bitter. This morning I read this verse that I've actually read a bunch of times in Isaiah. And I got stuck on it again. I got stuck on it today. And today it almost felt like it meant something to me. I'm not trying to sit here and be like, is that my verse for mayor? God, is that what I'm standing on for mayor? Because the reality is I'm going to lose. That's the reality. The human reality. I don't know what God's reality is for it yet, but it's Isaiah 55. It's the same chapter that has my word goes forth from my mouth and does not return void, but accomplishes what I sent it to do. It's like a really common scripture. You'll go out with joy, be led forth with peace. It's just that common passage. All the trees of the field will clap their hands. The trees of the field will clap their hands. The trees of the field will clap their hands as you go out with joy. Remember that song? Anyway, Isaiah 55, 1 through 5 is what I got stuck on this morning. Everyone who thirsts, come to the waters. And you who have no money, come buy and eat. And I got stuck in that. I'm like, if you have no money, how do you buy something and eat it? That's how I think. Because I keep saying for this election, the election actually costs money. It costs money to run. I cried about my mother's $20 wig. I didn't want to buy it for her, and I put it off for days, which is why it's not here now, and it got caught in the Amazon mailing loop of hell because I agonized over the $20 for a week. I don't have any money. Okay, Lord, I'll come by and eat. This is why God constantly turns his back on me. I'm a mouth. I'm just a mouth. Just kidding. God never turns his back on anybody. And that's the actual truth. Don't listen to me. Come buy wine and milk without money, and which has no price. Alicia, why do you spend money on things that are not bread? And why do you spend your labor for that which doesn't satisfy you? And I felt like, when I read that, I felt like the Lord was like, why are you, so when you spend money for that which is not bread, you're wasting your money on things that don't feed you and nourish you, and your labor on things that don't satisfy you. You should labor, but you should be satisfied with the work of your hands. And if you're not, maybe you need to rethink what you're doing. Why are you spending money? Why are you pouring out, financially or otherwise, on things that don't feed you, your soul? Listen diligent to me, Alicia. Eat what is good. Let your soul delight itself in the abundance. Listen, incline your ear and come to me, Alicia, so that your soul may live, and I will give you an everlasting covenant, even the sure mercies that I gave to David, which are new every morning. I have given you David as a witness. He was a leader and a commander of the people. Surely, Alicia, you will call to a nation that you do not know. And I really literally was like, I just felt Albany. There's filled with nations. We're a sanctuary city. Surely you shall call a nation that you do not know, and the nations that did not know you will run to you. I just stuck out to me. I don't know why. It's stupid, but it stood out to me. Because of the Lord your God, even the Holy One of Israel, for he has glorified you. Anyway, that really stuck out to me. I'm going to write it down and think about it. But I've just been wrestling with all these things because, A, obviously I want to make the right decision for my life and my family, etc. And I want to be in the will of God more than anything else. And I know that sacrifices have to be made. But which sacrifices? So I'm just going to keep praying. I thank God for my mother. She literally made me who I am today. You know, she did all these things as a mother to try and raise me up and to try and make me who I am. She did all these intentional things that mothers do with intention and deliberation. Like, I want to instill this in my child, and she gave it thought, whatever. But it turns out it was those quiet moments when she was just being herself, when she wasn't trying, that truly shaped me and made me who I am. What a gift she is to me. Little did she know, the future mayor of Albany, New York, was watching her study for her test with that little light on above the desk. The little girl who would grow up and run for mayor of a capital city. Learn something from that little desk light in the quiet of the morning. My mom has cancer, but Jesus has the answer.